Hey there, my name is Adam from the team here at Parabola, and in this video I'll be sharing how leading e-commerce and retail teams, such as Sonos, Volcom, and Just Food for Dogs, are automating many of their most complex manual data challenges happening at scale across operations and supply chain teams. I'll start this video with a quick 101 on why Parabola before giving you an overview of the platform and rounding us out with some common use cases across operations and supply chain. At the highest level, teams look to start using Parabola when they're really at capacity, but aren't able to go out and hire additional full time employees or rely on tech teams to provide internal solutions. And just about every operator we talk about tells us this story of kind of drowning in the manual work that happens in spreadsheets and email attachments and across siloed tools that's really required to sustain really great customer experiences. And oftentimes, tech teams really want to help. They just don't necessarily have the bandwidth to be able to provide timely solutions to really nuanced problems happening across different fulfillment centers and sales channels. And we really believe here at Parabola that at the end of the day, the people who are closest to the problems should be the ones really building and deploying their own automated solutions to take away a lot of this manual work and allow teams to scale bandwidth without going out and hiring. To give you a quick 101 of the platform, right now we're looking at a fully built out Parabola flow, which is really built to pull data from any system where data lives, such as Google Sheets, a data warehouse, a WMS system, transform that data, much like you would in a spreadsheet. So doing things like combining data, doing different calculations, classifying data into different categories and filtering, and then finally send that data out wherever it needs to go. Whether that is updating a WMS system, updating Shopify, sending an email, updating a Google Sheet, really wherever that data needs to go, can build that custom solution to get it there. Whenever we're building a Parabola flow, we're always starting with a blank canvas where we can get started by pulling in all of those different data sources. So for instance, you might be working with something like Google Sheets, maybe you have your orders there, and then maybe we also need to pull in some data from a place like NetSuite. Really wherever that data lives, even if it's a custom WMS from your 3PL, can build that custom solution to get it there. Once we've loaded up data from all of our different sources, we then can start to manipulate it. So this transform section here is really going to give you an overview of all the different ways that we can manipulate data. And so if you can imagine a VLOOKUP in Excel, we can do the same type of step in Parabola. We call it a combined tables, where we're matching up two data sets, maybe on SKU or order ID, before we do something like filter our data. Maybe we need to do a math calculation. In short, whatever that SOP that you have or process documentation logic looks like can build that really custom flow to mirror that logic. Finally, can send this data out wherever it needs to go. So maybe in this case, we need to go update a Google Sheet. If we needed to upload something to an FTP folder, make an API call, really can get that data wherever it needs to go. And now I'll walk you through this quick demo that we have up above. And what we're trying to do in this example is pull in our inventory levels from Snowflake so we can see for a specific SKU, this is our on-hand quantity, and match that up with some historical sales that we're getting from Shopify. So in this case, we can, for instance, pull in orders at a line item level. We can apply a growth rate. Let's say we're assuming that each SKU will grow at 10% month over month. And what we're left with is a data set that's showing us for a specific SKU, unit sales over the last 30 days, and then anticipated sales over the next 30, 60, 90, so on and so forth. From there, we can try to understand how many months until we anticipate this SKU is depleted. And so this would be an example of an if-else rule in Parabola. And then finally, what we're left with is a data set that's going to show us for a specific SKU, unit sales over the last 30 days, what's currently available, and projected months to depletion so that we can notify the team about any SKUs that need to be replenished. That leads me to some of the most common use cases that we see across e-commerce and supply operations and supply chain. So at the highest level, really critical to have visibility into inventory levels across different 3PLs and fulfillment centers. Once we have that consolidated view of inventory, then we can do things like starting to create burn down reports based on historical sales or demand forecasts, and also forecast some of our replenishment needs to prevent stockouts and make more strategic, quick decisions on inventory levels. We also see a whole lot of flows related to fulfillment. So, for instance, figuring out what is the optimal warehouse to fulfill an order from, and also ensuring good customer experiences by notifying the team about any fulfillment delays. Last one I want to call out here is use cases related to shipping. So maybe you need to do a shipping cost reconciliation where you get an invoice from your 3PL, match that up with what you get from a carrier to recover any overages, and then also see a lot of carrier scorecards or vendor scorecards to help understand, hey, how do we ship goods as cost efficiently as possible? In short, if it's happening in a spreadsheet or an email or a PDF, probably makes for a good Parabola use case. And so here's a list to kind of give you an overview of everything that's possible in Parabola, but definitely not an all-inclusive list here. I would encourage you to sign up for a trial to start playing around with the platform, and feel free to book time with our team for a more specific overview of Parabola, specific to your use case. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and let us know if you have any questions.